Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now. You don't wanna fuck with me, a slow burn like a disease. Just tell me that I can and I'll show you things that you couldn't believe. Just tell me that I can. 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 It's showtime.
Welcome to Friday Night Lights. I'm your host, Mikey, and as always, ride with me, Shotgun. My boy Tommy, what's going on, brother?
What is going on, Mr. Mikey? Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everyone. We finally got here. And by the way,
we were not late.
We weren't late. And as you guys know, the Bills play the Jaguars in London.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Man. I'm excited for it in a way, man. It sucks getting up so early, but I am excited for it. I'm excited for the players too. It's pretty cool. A lot of them are never been there. Super excited. Von Miller's super excited. Hopefully he plays. He's saying 70, whatever he said. I'm like 94.6.
Yeah, 94.7% that he's gonna play. That's just Vaughn being Vaughn. You know, we'll see if they make him active. Seeing that Rousseau is out, which we'll get to the injury reports later in the show. Seeing Rousseau's out, it's possible that he now comes up because they don't even have to make an adjustment. They can toss Trey on IR because they haven't done it yet. Mm-hmm. They can put Trey on IR and then just activate Vaughn. They have to do it by noon Eastern tomorrow. So yeah. Oh, I like this one. And before we jump into the round of the league, says we need to trade for Patrick Surtain II for Kyrie.
Nabel keeps saying that, by the way, in my comments section.
I would absolutely love that. Here's the problem with that. Surtain II is on a contract year. He's gonna break the mold for wide receiver or cornerback contracts. We don't have the money to re-sign him. Why would you give up a second year, cost controlled contract for a rental just for this year? You don't do it.
Right.
You don't do it. And I get that everyone's like, well, Elam hasn't been playing. Well, Elam's going to be playing now because Benford is also questionable. So it may be Jackson and Elam tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. It's time to shine, man. We said it. We talked about it Monday, man. This is it, Mikey, for me. I mean, for him, I think this is an opportunity that he cannot afford to mess up on, man. Like, I don't know what got him in the doghouse or what had got him, being a McDermott's, way back on the depth chart thing. But he is now ready to go. McDermott has no other option. Let's be real. I know they signed Herb or whatever his name was, but I don't think that's going to
practice squad.
Right. So here's this opportunity, and I hope he makes the best of it, because if he doesn't, and he's out there holding and getting penalties and getting burnt, whatever's going to happen, and hopefully that doesn't, then then we got a problem, because he's going to go right back. They're going to probably wind up finding somebody then, out there, or maybe make a trade, and then I don't know what they do with him after that.
Here's my thing. Can you be better than the Miami's corner last week?
It can't be any worse, right? By the way, Don, I did see that Kyle from Banged Up Bills. I had to go doing my homework on that because I didn't get to see the initial video, because he didn't have that initial video out. But yeah, Oliver kneeled, put his knee basically down Groot's foot, and that's how it
Hurt it.
hurt it. Hopefully, it's not a fracture, guys. Hopefully, it's just a bruise, and he's like day to day. You know what I mean? Now they haven't said anything. They didn't say anything about getting it, checked out, MRI or anything like that. So maybe it's not a fracture, because you would think that they would have already came out and said, hey, we went out and got x-rays done. That should have been out by now. So it's probably a bruise, which is really good, guys, because if it's a fractured foot, he'd be out a little bit.
And to talk to Dunn on this, I rewatched that game. I don't think that TD was actually on Dane. I think that TD was actually, the Barrios was actually on Rap, because there was a guy in the flat. So he was supposed to take the flat, and the safety's supposed to come over the top. It was just a really good design. It put the Bills in a bad position. It was 3-on-2 in that zone, and you can't cover all three with only two guys. So it was one of those. I would not actually, call that a Dane issue. I thought Dane was fine.
Mafia Mom, by the way, did not like his performance.
Who, Dane's?
Mafia Mom, yeah. So on Thursday, I if you guys haven't had the chance to listen to their podcast on Thursday night, Mafia Means Family podcast, check it out. But yeah, she's not a fan of Dane Jackson at all. So I thought he played.
Fine.
I thought he played good. I didn't think he played great or anything like that, but I thought he came in and made a play right away. I thought he had a lot of energy. He made a good tackle. Like I said, it was I think the first play when he came in. We'll see. I mean, I thought he had a good preseason. I don't hate the fact that he's coming in. Listen, is he the best out there right now? Yeah, probably. That's. I mean, who's out there, Mikey? Like, the only guy that came to mind, and we talked about this, was Greedy.
Greedy Williams.
That's the only guy that would be interesting to me at this point. I don't know why they would bring.
That's out on the market, right?
That's out in the market, right?
So Greedy probably didn't want to practice squad, and that's the reason why we went elsewhere.
Exactly.
Greedy's also very much a man defender and not a zone defender, which could be another reason, because we have a man defender already, and that we're trying to bring around. It could be a million reasons why. Listen, I was crapping on McDermott for the whole Trinell Bernard no middle linebacker thing. Yeah. I'm done crapping on him. If he has a plan, I want him to wait and see it, because Bernard worked out. Epinesa started to work out. Like, a lot of his plan, it's end up working out. So
now, right, and Benford has worked out, though he hasn't played great.
He's been a solid number two.
He's been a solid number two, but I gotta say, though, like, I cannot wait to see Kyer, though. Like, I'm very curious how Kyer performs here, and then what they do moving forward with Kyer. Because if Kyer Elam has himself a game, let's say Kyer Elam, like, he puts it all out on the field on Sunday, right? And they have some good receivers over there, don't you know? Now, I don't think Zay's playing in that game.
He's questionable.
He's questionable. But they have some good. They got some good receivers over there. So very curious how he does in this game, if he steps up, and what they do moving forward. That will be the tricky part, because if he has himself a game, then what do they do? Do they make it Kyer and Benford, or do they keep Dane and Benford? You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be interesting moving forward. What McDermott chooses to do there,
or does he rotate all three in like he did last year?
He could do that as well. You're right. And Benford's not totally right with his shoulder.
He's questionable. There's a chance he doesn't. I'll be surprised if he may be active and he may not start. He may only come in an emergency, because he only came back into the game last week because Trey got hurt.
Right. Exactly. Or else he probably wanted to have seen the field again that day.
Exactly. So I want to hit on Jason's comment here. It says Miami getting all this talent, including Claypool today, and they still can't beat us. Is Claypool a talent? He's now been on two teams and booted off two teams.
Right.
Is he still considered a talent?
Well, listen, I got to say, too, how many receivers can they get over there? Like, there's only so many options that you can go to, right? So I don't think I think he's okay. I mean, Chase Claypool to a team with no receivers, I would be more up for it. You know what I mean? If that was that team.
Mhm.
But the Dolphins have a stacked lineup at receiver, bro.
He's not
I
fast.
I
How does he
yeah.
fit that offense?
Yes, I mean, I don't, you know, that's what I'm saying. I don't even see it where they're going to put him in. You get what I mean? Like where? So, you know, no, I'm not worried about Claypool being over in Miami at all.
Yes, Spin. I wish we would have drafted Creed.
They need defensive help.
Yeah, they do. Not offense. I was surprised to
Right.
see that they made the trade for Claypool.
Right. Like what? Why? Where are you? Like I said, where are you planning on putting him?
He's been not even that. He's been kicked off of the Pittsburgh team, and who has a history of drafting good wide receivers and dealing with difficult people, and they booted him. And then he went to Chicago, where they needed wide receivers, and he was such a cancer in the locker room that they booted him off there.
Right. Yeah.
Like, why would you trade anything for a guy like that? That makes zero sense to me.
I'm gonna guess you were gonna get to the news because there was other trades and stuff.
Yeah, I'll get to that. I was just, you know,
I didn't want to jump the gun on you.
No, it's all good. I was just going in and going off of what team, what the chat was saying. So let's quickly get to the news around the league. Trade season is starting. We just talked about Claypool being dealt. Also, Randy Gregory was dealt. They said they was going to be cut, and then the 49ers came in at the in hour and swooped him up. The difference is they traded for his whole salary, and he got a big deal.
Right.
You know, rather than letting him be cut and then signing him to a lower salary, they traded for his salary, which was kind of crazy. Like, how does 49ers fit that much money into their salary cap?
I have no idea. They
have like 6 guys who were like the top of their payroll position.
They must have moved some numbers around, man. Yeah. I mean, but that tells me though, with that kind of move, and them spending that kind of money, they're going all in, man. Like they know they want a Super Bowl, man, this year. So we'll see. I mean, that's a good team. I'm not gonna lie. That 49ers team, that's gonna be a tough out.
Yeah, Spencer, they didn't even let him in the facility, kind of like Chandler Jones, because Chandler Jones was released too.
Ain't nobody picking him up, bro.
Yeah,
ain't nobody.
Not until they figure out what the hell's going on with him.
Yeah, ain't nobody, and he's only gonna. And the sad thing with Chandler is because he's not doing anything right now. He's more susceptible to like, doing dumb shit. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
you know how that is. Like Antonio Brown, when he had no practice, no nothing. That's when he starts talking, doing dumb things and. Boredom will get those guys. So I don't know, man. I wish him well, but ain't no NFL team picking him up, bro.
Okay. He wasn't cut, Spin. Gregory was traded.
Why is that red now?
I have no idea.
I'll change it.
Oh, we also says Mafia means family up top.
Wow.
And someone popped in the back too. Someone else is in here. Did you?
Hold on, guys. I think maybe. Hold on, guys. That's really weird. Well, that person's. It was maybe. She was probably checking something. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, weird, yo. Let's go back. Let's go back, guys.
The praying per.
And look, it's Friday Night Lights again. That's so strange, bro.
It's back to Mafia means family again.
Yeah, no.
Now it's something else.
I know. Let me do it. I don't know if
I'm not doing anything.
Oh, okay. That's super strange, man. Technical stuff. That's all right. I'll switch it up. Hold on. So keep talking to our lovely audience. Why
it says they're not paying Purdy right now. That's why. But even with that, they still have to pay all the other guys, which is nuts. Just think what mine of the Bills picking up Chandler Jones in free agency last year, right? Think about that. We ended up getting Von Miller instead of. Chandler Jones. Remember when we were mad that Chandler? Okay, someone.
What?
Changing it to Mafia means family.
It's me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it back, but it won't. So we're gonna just stick with the Mafia Sports Report for now. All right.
Okay.
Nothing I can do.
That's fine. It put my green screen on too. Like it completely shut us down. Whatever happened.
Yeah, that's really weird, bro.
You know,
Sorry,
just
guys.
think. So let's touch on this. The spends piece. Remember when we wanted Chandler Jones and we were mad that we didn't pay him, and then we turned around and ended up getting Von Miller? What a shrewd move that was. You know what I mean? At the end of the day,
man, that would have been a disaster, bro.
You know. Okay.
All right.
Oh yeah, no, I got to spend. I was just going through the comments. I got to spend.
All right.
I get what you're saying. Yes, I do agree, Triggs. They're going to be in cap hell coming down the pike, but then again, you can always kick it down the road. We see teams do it every year.
Mm-hmm.
And as these new TV contracts, the gambling comes in, and all these new streaming platforms, the cap's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger. At some point, it'll level off. So it'll be nice to see. Okay, so the second piece, some big IR injury returns this week. Vaughn looks like he's going to be back, possibly. He's 94.7% sure about playing this week. Jonathan Taylor looks like he's going to come off and be back with the Colts. Cooper Kupp is coming off the IR and looks like he'll be back playing this week. OBJ's returning after a 3-game absence. Saquon Barkley is still questionable, but headed to returning possibly this week. So you have a lot of big names going on. I don't know if you saw it, but did you see Teron Armstead for the Dolphins went on IR?
Yeah, man. He's a tough dude, bro, but he's getting up there in age, and injuries have followed him for the last couple seasons, man. So it is what it is. But yeah, see, exactly my point. They trade for a receiver instead of trying to get help in positions they really need. Like, it makes no sense. But once again, that's not our problem.
What was your question, Spen? I saw that you said, the reason why they traded for him and not cut on him, because then he goes through waivers and there's no guarantee he signs with them. I get that. I didn't see your actual question.
Spen gets very upset. Capital letters, man.
Like I read what he said. I understand.
Man,
type in what your question was, and I will answer it. I promise. Would Gregory have gone through waivers? Yeah, he's a vested veteran. He doesn't go through waivers. He's in his second contract. So if they cut him, he would have been a free agent. He doesn't actually go through waivers.
Correct.
Got it. Okay, I got what
you
were asking. You were asking if he goes through waivers. Got it. I didn't read it right. Dyslexic on this side of the mic. Are they thinking that Armstead is out for 2 months? I don't know what's going on with them with Armstead. I know he went down and it was bad. Like he looked bad going back to the locker room, and he was already dealing with the knee issue.
Yeah, he was already going in that game hurt.
Yeah.
And man, that happened quick too. Yeah, he seemed. But hey, man, nothing worse than what happened to us that game. So,
yeah.
But yeah, I feel for them. But once again, though, Mikey, what are they doing going to picking up receivers when they need help in different positions? It just makes no sense, man.
They need defensive tackles.
They need
badly.
Yeah.
They need linebackers. They need corners. Like,
right.
Jalen's going to come back. Ramsey's going to come back, but Ramsey wasn't this elite corner the last few years.
No,
that everyone just assumes he is.
That's why I was laughing all week when Dolphin fans were like, "Oh, if we, if it wasn't for that guy," I'm like, "You guys know that Ramsey got his ass whooped last year, week 1. Diggs took him to school, so like, there's whatever." Mm-hmm. It's just funny to me, man.
So Patrick, this is a great question. We need a trade, maybe. What do we need? Tommy, if you were looking at the Bills roster today and we were going to make a deal, what is it that you think we need?
Right now, I would say we're solid in a lot of fronts. I would say I wouldn't hate another weapon on offense, like a receiver, but it'd have to be someone that I don't know, man. It'd have to be a
superstar.
It'd have to be a superstar, right? It couldn't. I don't want like another. It couldn't be a guy that just like a Claypool. So it'd have to be a guy with just that.
It'd have to be someone like Cooper Kupp.
That would basically take the needle and really push it, right?
So someone like Cooper Kupp.
Yeah. So offensively, right? Exactly. I say offensively, I'm good where we're standing right now, unless it's a superstar receiver. But I guess defense, I would maybe add a corner. I think a corner would be the safest bet right now if you're going to trade one, because I think we're starting. If we get another injury, somebody goes down again, then we're really starting to get thin there.
We have Ingram in the pocket. So here's the deal: if we traded for a corner,
not proven yet.
Yeah,
you know,
if we traded for a corner, Elam goes back to inactive. Elam goes back to inactive. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, it depends how he plays, man. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And remember, that's why I said this game's going to be so important for him. Linebacker, yeah, that's interesting too. If God forbid if Bernard goes down, we're in a lot of trouble. I wouldn't mind another offensive lineman as well. You know, if you want to pick up depth. But there's not a lot of positions right now, Mikey, that I'm like where I'm going to look at this team and just be like, man, we have to get this. You know, I think really honestly, if we make any kind of move, it would be for depth. Unless, like I said earlier, it's a superstar player that they just, you know, they don't want to miss on. You know what I mean? That he could push the needle and get us to a Super Bowl without a doubt. You know what I mean? One of those type of players. But who's that? Who's out there that wants to get dealt? That's a superstar talent that can really get this team to another level. You know, we'll know more as the season goes on when teams are starting to really struggle. Mm-hmm. And then they, you know, but right now I mean, who's out there? You know, that wants to be traded.
Not only that, I think really the only spot I could see if we were to make a deal would be for depth linebacker. That's the only spot because we already have Ford sitting inactive on game days at defensive tackle. Right. You know, we have 5 defensive ends and Vaughn's getting ready to come back. We're going to have to cut somebody out of the defensive end room. You know, corners, we just because of Trey's injury, we finally get Elam up to game day. So we may need a depth corner, but you don't trade for a depth corner. You really don't.
Yeah, no. See, that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't. Yeah, I rather just pick up, you know, somebody out like you already did. You know, put him on a practice squad. But
and then you bring up Elam and have him be that break glass in case of an emergency if something happens.
We don't. Yeah, once again, guys, I hate to break the bad news to you, but we don't trade for players.
Yeah, we don't. So. But I'm just I thought it was a good question of
we'll trade away a player.
Where would it make sense to?
Yeah, I don't honestly.
Depth linebacker
right now. As we sit, linebacker will be our weakest depth position where I would be worried if a player or tackle. That is correct. I'm with you there
because we don't know what Infetti is yet. We haven't seen him.
No,
we know Ryan Vandermark looked good in preseason, but we don't know what he is.
Or better at left tackle than right as well.
But Infetti would be our right tackle. Vandermark would be our left tackle. You know, if something happened. So we are good on the interior with the guys that we have. So I would say linebacker. That's mine.
Yeah.
You know,
that's crazy that we're thinking about it, and we really don't have many holes, man, on this team right now. Now, mind you, though, obviously injuries and stuff like that, but
it's one. Here's the question, Scott: is there one player that's going to fix run defense? Because if we were really worried about our run defense, we'd be playing Poona Ford. He's a run stuffer.
Yep.
They have choose not to the last 2 weeks. So obviously the coaching staff doesn't. You know, if you wanted to fix the run defense, you would go get another big giant defensive tackle to help plug up holes. But we already have that. Just not getting a game day jersey. So
yeah.
Okay, so let's keep moving down. The tush push. So I mean, there's a lot of debate going on about this. There was a couple injuries recently with the tush push. Do you think it gets banned next year?
Talking about the Jalen Hurts tush push.
The brotherly shove.
I know they talked about it. They talked about it this past off season briefly, and they didn't. They kept it legal. I don't know. I think it's okay. It doesn't. You know what? Some teams are not. It's not working for them. I've seen some teams fail doing it. So You got to do it. You got to execute that right though, to make it work. And the Eagles have that lockdown. Not every team can get that lockdown. So I'm okay with it. I'll be real with you, because you start there, then it's going to be like you can't push a guy in the back. You know what I mean? Like Josh Allen pushing James Cook last week. Like, where does it stop? I think it's okay. I don't think it's that dangerous of a play. I really don't. I think it's just it's defense, offensive line versus defensive line. You're pushing. You know, I figure it out. Then that's what you got coordinators for, man. Figure a way around it. I don't know what to tell you. But I wouldn't ban it. I think it's fine. I really. It's a yard. Honestly, it's a yard or two at best. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't know. I'm good with it.
I don't have a problem with it either. You know what I mean? It's becoming a louder and louder topic in the NFL.
I mean, if more injuries start to happen because of that specific play, then yeah, maybe. But I don't see it being a problem. There's a lot other injuries that happen due to other stuff. You know, then they're going to start taking away everything. Look what they're doing. So,
yeah, right.
You know.
By the way, you don't see very many fair catches in the kick returns either. Like, they made a big deal out of it, but I think there's only been like a handful. You know, there's been a couple.
For us, I don't recall one.
Not for us,
right?
Pat McAfee said he was at a Colts game because he has box seats there, and someone called it at the 3-yard line and pissed him off because Pat hates that call.
I think naturally in their players' mind is the run. Like even if they like their coaches like tell them, hey, I think just because they've been playing youth football so long, you know what I mean? Like I just think they're gonna forget almost. You know what I mean? It's just a natural thing to do is to run. You know what I mean? Like if the ball's not in the end zone. So I don't know. I don't think that's gonna. I think players are gonna still return 97% of the time. They're gonna return. They're gonna return it.
I forgot about J.C. Jackson getting moved back to New England. You're right. That's another
crazy,
one.
Right? That happened on Thursday.
Yeah,
I think Wednesday or Thursday.
The Bills can make a move to push the needle. Do you think Claypool and J.C. Jackson push the needle, Steve? Like J.C. Jackson was getting cooked the last 2 years, and we cooked him in New England when he was there.
Got benched. I mean, but I will say this: good for them. And the Patriots are thin right now with Gonzalez. I believe it's Gonzalez that went out for the year, their rookie.
Yeah.
So it's not a terrible move to get back J.C. Jackson, and some players perform better where they initially came from. And it's very possible that J.C. Jackson's a better fit, scheme fit for New England. So I don't think it's a terrible move.
Chewy's worried about your over-under Corona.
No,
in the morning.
I can't. You know what the thing is, Chewy? I can't drink that early, man. Like, I don't know how people do it. 9:30 in the morning, and that sucks for me because I like drinking beer and watching football at like 1 o'clock. But Mikey, that's so fucking early. I can't do it, man. I'm sorry. I know I'm wussy, guys, but I can't, man. I'll have breakfast at 8. I'll go get an English McMuffin. That's going to be like my most English thing I do.
English muffin. The McMuffin from McDonald's.
Right. Yeah, English, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah. And then that's it. I can't drink beer at 9:30 in the morning. Now I do know in Buffalo, Mikey, they open up bars early. They allowed them to open up some bars early to have people drinking. But damn, dude, I just can't.
I can't do it either. Granted, in my time, it's going to be like 6 a.m. So
I know, dude. I feel for you, bro. I really do.
Stephon Gilmore isn't going to be dealt anyways because the Cowboys lost Trey or lost Diggs. Trevon Diggs. So he is their CB1 now. So I don't see Dallas looking to move him anyways.
Yeah, he ain't going nowhere.
Sausage, egg, and cheese, Chewy said.
Yeah. Or the bacon. I like the Canadian bacon one.
Ooh, Sophia from Hawaii. Yeah, it's 6 my time. It's 3:30 her time.
Wow.
No thanks. It's not try drinking. It's staying up and drinking at 3:30. It's still drinking at 3:30 a.m. in Hawaii. It's not waking up to drink. Yeah, not for me either. Is there a CB getting evaluated as White goes on the IR? I don't know if we'll evaluate just to not give a game day active. I think at some point we'll have a fourth one come up. I don't think it's this week. As Rousseau is out, if we activate Vaughn, I think he takes Trey's 53 spot. So we don't have to get rid of any of our defensive tackles or defensive ends right now. We can make that designation after we come back from London. I think that's the corresponding move. If Vaughn is activated, is Trey goes to IR, Vaughn comes back.
Yep.
Ooh, Jason, Jack and coffee. Jack in your coffee.
Damn. Beers make people fat. Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah,
I don't drink as many. I think I have been drinking more soda lately, which I stopped drinking soda for like 2 years. Mikey, it's killing me, man. I gotta stop that shit.
Yeah, me too. I quit drinking for a long time, and then I started to drink them. I don't drink them as much as I used to, but I've randomly had one.
It's so good.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. It's like liquid heroin, man.
Golly.
Trickson said I would give up a first round pick for Surtain, but Denver's not trading him. If it was just a rental, would you give up a first round pick? Because here's the thing: it's going to cost so much money to sign Surtain, and we don't have the cap space next year. That's the problem.
I mean,
truly a rental.
If Bean could figure it out and he really wanted to do that trade, and he had a plan, in place, I'd be up for it. But I don't want it to be a rental. Like, do the trade, but make it work. And I know it sucks, because the cap. But he can. If anyone could do it, he can do it. He can manipulate the numbers, whatever the fuck he has to do. But I wouldn't want a rental. Like it would. That would be disappointing to me. You know what I mean? Because then it's just, what's the point there? Especially if you don't, and if you don't win anything. Now, that's another thing too. So. I don't know. I'll tell you what, Mikey. This is going to boil down to what happens with Kyrie Irving in the next few weeks. I think.
Yeah,
they're going to see where he's at, because I think if Kyrie struggles for some reason, which I don't think he is. I think Kyrie is going to prove his worth. I think Kyrie has a chip on his shoulder. But if he doesn't, and he just gets roasted out there, looks bad, penalties. Then it's very possible that Bean makes a move, because then you're putting your that defense in a bad position, Mikey, and that's probably why they haven't dressed him. I'm gonna be real with you, like maybe they don't want to put the defense in a bad position by putting Kyrie out there, but right now there's no other choice. So Kyrie needs to step up, man.
Okay, we can get back to Kyrie.
I have no idea.
That's fine. We'll get back to it. I just want to get to Chew's question.
Yeah, I'm just going with what they're thinking, maybe. Yeah.
I never understand what McDermott's thinking, so I don't even try. What's the cap space right now? It's $2.6 million right now, but we're already $17 million over cap going into next year.
Right.
So it's one of those possibilities. If you're bringing him on, we'd have to find a way to get his cap under that 2.6, and you can do that in trades and renegotiations and stuff, which is fine. There's a way to do it, but at the end of the day, it would be a rental, because we're already 17 over the cap next year. And granted, we'll make some, we'll kick money down the line for some other people and sign some extensions and push money and do all that cap gymnastics.
Right.
But to turn around and give, Surtain $20 million a year, you're saying goodbye to Gabe. You're saying goodbye to Floyd. You're saying goodbye to Ford. You're saying goodbye to some of these free agents. Probably Micah. You know what I mean? Possibly even Trey. We'll have to look at his cap number, but that's a lot of money to be given up for another corner. So, anyways, that's that piece. And when it comes to the McDermott and the whole thing, I have a hard time believing he's going to be worse than he was last year. And he was fine last year.
Yeah, I thought he had his ups and downs. I thought he had his rookie
ups and
struggles at times. Yeah.
So,
but my point is, though, that though he had his ups and downs last year, and we both thought, and I think a lot of people thought that he had some good moments as well. Something happened in this offseason and training camp and preseason that put him where he's at in the depth chart. I feel like maybe they thought that he should have, in a year or two or in this offseason should have took another step, and maybe he didn't. I don't know. We're not there. I'm just guessing here, Mikey, but it's odd to me that last year he was dressed for the majority of the games, and this year he has not been dressed. That's the reason why I'm like, that's odd to me. Now we'll see. Like I said, we don't know because we haven't seen Kaiir Elam this year, right? We haven't seen him one game, not one moment. So maybe we're missing something. I have no idea what they're seeing, but we're gonna find out. You know what I mean? Like there is no other option right now. So, like I said, though, in my point of seeing this whole thing is this is an opportunity for Kaiir Elam, and here it is. And if he can't step up or prove to McDermott, because that's the thing, I think it's really between him and McDermott. If he can't prove that he can be, play in this in his defense and his scheme, then there's a problem. But if he could prove it these next few weeks, then I think Kaiir winds up staying on the roster, staying dressed. You know what I mean? But we'll see, man. I think these are very important moments for Kaiir, man. I really do.
In his Bills career, it is.
That's what I mean. In his Bills career, correct.
Hitting Justice question, Mikey's that with the cap being 250. I use over the cap, and they have it projected at 258.6 next year, and that's with us being at 17. Over at 258 is the cap.
Mm-hmm.
We should look at Jones from Vegas or Gregory if Rousseau injuries. I don't think we have plenty of DNs. I don't think we're going outside. I really don't.
Jones
and if Poyer continues to slow down, I think you're seeing more Rap. I think we have an in-house solution for that already.
Yeah, Rap played good, man. I had no problem with Rap coming in.
Yes, I agree, Patrick. I think we're drafting wide receivers next year.
We have to, and there's a lot of good ones coming out.
Yep.
And we've been on. I think me and Mikey agree. I don't see them re-signing Gabe Davis, even though I think Gabe Davis is a good number 2. I think he's gonna have a good year this year. I still think he's doing pretty good, but I just think they're probably not they're not going to be able to afford him. I think Gabe's going to wind up getting a contract somewhere pretty good, man. And I just don't think that we'll see that value of re-signing him for that or matching that deal. So
not with us paying Steph.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I just can't see it. And there's so many, like I said, so many good receivers coming out in the draft. Yeah, I think they're going to wind up drafting a couple, actually.
Me too. Because I have a feeling that Kincaid by the end of the year, he may not be the second option, but I think going into next year, he'll probably be option 2.
He will.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you see Mike Williams come out and drop his top 5 receivers? He had Steph at number 2 and his 4 underrated receivers. His number 2 underrated receiver was Gabe.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Mike Williams, like the players view Gabe and the executives view Gabe different than the fans view Gabe. That's why I think Gabe's going to get a big deal. I think it was
Gabe.
Chris.
I don't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I don't. I feel Gabe Davis is a good receiver, man.
Yeah,
I
a lot
feel
of
like he. I do. I think. If he went to, let's say hypothetically, he got picked up by the Giants, right? They paid him. That'd be he might be their number 1.
He would be their number 1.
That's what I'm saying. So, and what kind of stats would he pull? He'd be 1,000-yard receiver.
Not with Danny Dimes throwing it to him.
No. Well, I'm just saying it don't matter. Danny Dimes still going to throw something, right? Let's say even 3,000 yards. Let's say a bad season, 3,000. Gabe Davis would be his 1, right? I'm just saying there's teams out there with some terrible receivers. Gabe Davis is a solid receiver, guys. You're just looking at him on our roster and what we know about him, he's made some mistakes, but you guys, man, I'm telling you, Josh trusts him too, man. That's the one thing. And that's why right now Kincaid isn't there yet, right? Maybe next year, right? Kincaid will be that too. as the season goes on and Josh starts to earn that trust. But right now, Josh is all about Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis, man. Those are his dudes, man.
Yep. They said it'd be your worst nightmare if Davis ends up with KC.
I think it would be a lot of our worst nightmares. You kidding me? Davis and KC with Mahomes, bro. He'd light it up, bro.
Yeah.
I'm going to be upset when he leaves, regardless, because I like the dude, man. I think he's a good teammate, man. Like I respect like certain players on this team that's left that were good in that locker room guys like Devin Singletary. Like I always have love for that dude. There's a few, man. But
the only way
few I don't like.
Yeah. And the only way I see him actually resigning in Buffalo is if it's for a long-term deal. And it's got to be long enough that his big money doesn't hit until after Steph's gone.
Right.
That's the only way I see it happening. Other than that, I think he's going to move on. Steve comes in and says, with another injury to Trey, will he move to safety when he comes back? He can be cut next season with cap savings. Yes. He can be cut next year with cap savings. If it's post 6-1, it's a $10 million cap savings, $6 million dead cap.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to move off from Trey at all. I don't think they're going to move him to safety either. I think he stays at corner, and I think he'll be a Buffalo Bill next year, and I think he'll be coming back to try to play.
Yeah.
What Trey do we get? Who knows?
Well, like I said, we talked about this. The ACL, if it was another ACL injury, the same knee or even the other knee, I would say the Bills really need to consider things because that's a huge, that step off for him, like having that happen. But Achilles, that's something that you could definitely bounce back from if he gets the right surgery done, which I would assume he's going to go to the Green Bay, the Aaron Rodgers guy, and he'll be back, guys. I think we'll get the trade back in. I think mentally it's another hurdle he'll just have to figure out.
Yep. Chewy comes in and says, I think Gabe's going to explore his options and sign somewhere else warm. You know what? He's a Florida guy. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's contracts are up. I can see him going to Tampa.
I can see that too. Yeah,
being the
he is. You're right. UCF. Yeah, that would make sense. Or Jacksonville.
But Jacksonville has Ridley. That's why I was thinking Tampa will have the cap space because
Tampa too.
Because Goodwin and Evans come off the books this year.
Or a Georgia team or the Falcons. I mean, it's still kind of close to.
Yeah. I just felt like if he really wanted to go home,
you're right.
Tampa kind of seems like the ideal fit.
That would make sense.
They'll need the wide receiver because if they're not re-signing Evans or Godwin, he'll slot in as our wide receiver one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And get paid. So I could see that. That's a good. Yeah. I think Gabe goes as well. It feels like Diggs ain't gonna slow down anytime soon. I don't think he's gonna slow down anytime soon either. Because Diggs isn't speed guy. Diggs is technique guy. So I think that's going to help him stay, very much like Larry Fitzgerald. It helped him stay, playing long at elite level longer into his career.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Wouldn't surprise me if signs with Tampa. Yeah. It just seems like, you're going to go from Josh Allen to Baker Mayfield, but hey, get your money, brother. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you got to get your money.
Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what it's about, man.
All right, so should we hop into the injury report?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, let me pop on over to the injury report. Come on. Okay, so we'll start with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Zay Jones questionable. Parker Washington is out. Antonio Johnson's questionable. Devin Lloyd being out is a sneaky positive for the Bills. That guy is really good at linebacker. Dewan Smoot's out. Cam Robinson, is unspecified, so I'm guessing he's playing. He's back, and he's going to return to the lineup, which he'll go back to left tackle, and that will push Walker Little into left guard. So they'll be interested to see how he does there because he's played really well at tackle. Little has,
Yep.
So, and then for the Bills, we kind of already talked about it. Benford is questionable. He's limited all week. I have a feeling he'll be active. He may not play as much depending on, how he's feeling. And, I think he's more of a break glass in case of emergency. I think it's going to be Elam and Jackson tomorrow.
Yep.
And then we have Von Miller, who's questionable. We'll know tomorrow if he gets activated. If he's activated by noon tomorrow, there's a good chance he's going to suit up.
I think they should. Me personally, Mikey, I think they should limit his snap count.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm McDermott, knock that rust off. He's going to have to knock the rust off at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And technically he was ready week 1. He was just not NFL ready, right? Mm-hmm. So they wanted to give him the 4 weeks to kind of get back into that kind of game shape and practice wise. But this was his first week of padded practice, so there's definitely rust there. You don't want to throw him in a high snap count, but I think it'd be okay to get him in there, low snap count. Take him out early, because I think the Bills will wind up going up early in this game, taking the lead, and there's no reason to play him late in the game. But just limit the snap count, get AJ more reps in there, and I'm good with it.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Maybe get Kingsley some more reps.
Kingsley as well. Yep.
See a little bit more Kingsley, because then we need to understand what Kingsley is to know who we're going to go with once Groot's healthy, and who's going to be the guy that leaves the roster. Is it going to be Kingsley that leaves the roster, or is it going to be Shaq?
Yeah,
one of them's going to leave the roster. We're not going to carry 6 DNs. It's not going to happen.
Jason, I think Miller would cover Groot's spot if he's limited, but I'm not sure. I'll be honest. I think he could go on both sides. But I would think they would have him go on Groot's side, but I'm not 100% on
probably
that.
Floyd. Floyd will probably start on Groot's side, and Miller will probably start on his
true.
side.
Yeah, you're right.
And then Shaq will back up.
But I've seen Vaughn play both sides though as well, Mike.
I've seen Floyd play both sides and Groot play both sides.
No, I know. I'm just throwing that out there. I think they could easily switch it up.
I think what they would do really is if Vaughn is active this week, I have a feeling he's going to start at the right D end, and Leonard will start the left D end in place of Groot. Because when they've started to this point, it's been Floyd at the right D end and Groot at the left D end.
Correct.
And then throughout the game, they switch up and go with different matchups.
Correct.
Yeah, but it's gonna be field turf, when we come back home too.
Yeah.
But they say this field turf is different than the field turf that we have. They have these green pellets that when you water them, it's like more cushioning for the players.
Okay.
Have you heard?
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, Shout was talking about it.
Okay.
And posted something about it. This turf is designed more for
soccer, probably soccer. Players?
No, they have grass fields for soccer.
Oh, that's right, soccer. It's right. I forgot. Soccer players do not.
Yeah,
that's right. They refuse to play on turf.
Yeah, this turf was designed for football in the UK, and these little green pellets instead of the black rubber pellets, when watered, they expand or something, and it gives more padding to the players, and it's more of a grass feel, I guess.
So how the hell does the NFL not adapt to this? Other teams?
I don't know.
Weird, man.
I don't know. But you're right, Patrick. These are great problems to have to try to figure out who we want to play where. Who are we keeping when this superstar comes back?
Yeah.
How far we have come in the McDermott years of we were trying to steal people's guys off of practice squads to, thinking they could hit. Now we're like, crap, this guy would probably make most 53s, but we can't keep him because we don't have a spot for him.
Yeah, and I'll be honest too, with these, except for the Trey White injury, the ones that we have right now that are minor, kind of, I'm hoping the Greg Rousseau one is not a fracture. I don't think it is, but it's actually good stretch of games right here where you can afford to not have them play. So Jacksonville, the Giants are playing bad football. I'd be okay with Rousseau even missing the Giants game. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I need these guys back
healthy
when we're down the stretch when we got that tough stretch of games, right? So in a way, though we never want injuries, the timing of them is actually okay. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm okay with this right now. Like, I'm totally okay with it. And I'm okay with Von Miller being limited in the Jags game. If he's limited, then I'm okay with him being limited. In the Giants game, we really don't need Von going all crazy in the Giant. Like, it's down the stretches when we need these dudes. So in a way, like I said, it's actually worked out that it happened early rather than late, like last season when it was just all season long, really. But you know, the main injuries for this Buffalo Bills team last year, Mikey, came late. Josh Allen with the UCL, Von Miller with the ACL, Micah Hyde, obviously the whole season. But yeah, we can't have late injuries, right? Later in the season. So to get them, hopefully they just get them over with now, man, and we can be healthy going to the playoffs or that late run, that late, playoff push,
Thank you, Patrick, for the super sticker or whatever it was. Go Bills. Yes, go Bills. We appreciate
thanks,
it.
Man.
To answer Spen's question, no, they haven't put Trey on IR yet. It's not, they haven't come up with a corresponding move yet. I think they're waiting to find out. I think they're waiting to find out if Vaughn was going to be active, because if Vaughn's going to be active, he's the move. If it's not, then it's maybe you bring up, Ingram to be CB4 and not be game day active.
Right.
It's one of those things. Because you don't want, and especially with Groot being down now, which I would be okay with Groot went on, short-term IR to get fully healthy if it's that bad.
Right. If it's a fracture.
Yeah.
Right. If it's a bruise, you don't need to put him on IR, bro.
No, because he can just be a game day inactive, and
yeah,
and
sit him out one more week, he'd be all right. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So, okay. Keys to the game, Tommy. Keys to the game time.
Let's do it.
On offense, O-line, control Josh Allen. The Jags, Josh Allen. When we played them 2 years ago, he was a game wrecker.
Brutal.
He was a game wrecker for us.
Right.
Our offensive line is so much better now than it was then.
Totally.
Deion Dawkins has been playing fantastic football this year, so we need to control Josh Allen and Walker to an extent. He was the number 1 overall pick. He does have some pass rushing and some explosiveness to him, but Josh Allen is the superstar on that side. Have a game plan like we had for Max Crosby.
By the way, what's cool about this London game for you guys to know, and I'm sure most of you guys know, but one, we're playing in the new stadium in London, which is basically what the Bills' new stadium is replicated of. Which is super cool. So we'll really this is kind of our first look at Bill Stadium.
Oh, what the Bill Stadium's going to look like?
Right? Yeah. Almost to the T, right? So that, which is pretty cool. So it's like, I don't know. I think that's pretty cool. And then just a heads up too, which is kind of crazy. The Bills and Jags played 18 times, Mikey. Split 9-9.
9-9.
Playoffs included. Playoffs.
Yeah.
Playoffs included. Right. Man, in the last London game, 2015, Tyrod Taylor, I'll never forget that. I got up nice and early to see the team lose. So hopefully, and that was in Wembley Stadium. So hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Hello. Would you like some tea and crumpets? Yep.
Hello. So,
Josh Allen needs their hurdle. Josh Allen.
That was brutal though.
Josh Allen.
2020 was it 2021, right? That was brutal, man, against the Jags. That was the worst.
We need some Josh Allen on Josh Allen crime, but an offensive Josh Allen on defensive Josh Allen crime.
I was so mad that game, Mikey.
Yeah, he hasn't. I don't think he's lived up to the pick, Triggs. I've seen explosive highlights out of him. He's flashed, but he's not put it together yet at all. Man, can you imagine picking this guy over Hutchinson now? Oh, what a bad move that was.
Hutchinson's a real deal, bro.
Yeah. You picked Trayvon Walker over. Hutson's just a monster. But
bro, he's a real deal,
coming
bro.
out. Everyone knew that coming out. Like,
they got themselves a hell of a player, bro.
EJ Manuel. EJ Manuel was the last
2015. I think he came in for Tyrod. I think Tyrod got hurt that game. I think
EJ came
Manuel
in for him?
finished the game. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
because then
sure.
didn't Manuel throw the touchdown in the corner to win it?
Yeah, no, we lost it. We lost 34-31,
Okay.
2015.
Which one am I thinking of where we went there and he threw the touchdown to the corner?
No,
I
that
don't
was
know.
only London game we went and played then.
Okay.
I'm almost sure though Tyrod started that game and he got hurt and Manuel came in. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Patrick comes in and says Murray for a TD. Have a gut feeling. I don't think it's just a Murray. I have a feeling we're going to see a Kincaid touchdown this week. His first.
I really hope so for the kid, man.
Like he's getting catches. He's just not getting yards. And he's not being used in the red zone. Like that first Stephon Diggs touchdown. I really think that was supposed to be to Kincaid, and Diggs just happened to step right into Josh's throwing lane. You know,
I think so.
Yeah, maybe. If you go back and watch
it was
Kincaid's running right behind him, wide open.
It's possible. It's possible.
You know, I never understood the pick. It would happen. Yeah, I don't think anybody did. We were all surprised. But that's that's that GM. That's what he does. You know. Oh, okay. So you think it was 100% to Diggs? Okay. Kincaid was running wide open right behind him too. Maybe Josh didn't see Kincaid. I don't know, but he was running all by himself behind him. All right, so then we wanted to go to my second one. So we had the control, the Josh Allen on the line. Continue to stay balanced. I'll tell you, with Josh being patient and staying balanced, we run short passes, move the chains, extend these drives, and then periodically pick your spots to go deep. Because he still had some deep shots. I want to see us continue that game script. Make them get out of the cover 2 shell and come up and try to take some of the short stuff away. That'll open up your deep plays.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that, man.
Stay patient. Defense, D-line, stay in your lanes. Trevor Lawrence is a runner. If our D-line attacks like they did with Tua last week or some of these other ones and they get out of their lanes, Lawrence will hurt you with his legs.
Yeah, he will take off.
Yep. Kincaid is gonna score a big TD this year. I agree. Maybe Sunday will be Kincaid's breakout game. Just waiting for it. Oh my God, Roy. Yeah, Josh Allen under center has been freaking in fuego. He's been so good under center. Have you heard the numbers that Orlovsky's been spitting out under center? Yeah. Holy
it's
crap.
Like we're like it's I don't know why I don't know why it took so long. Like this is like a new invention to go under center. We're like I don't know. Should we put him under center? This is different. It's like, bro. Like come on, man. I cannot believe it took this long for them to understand that going under center, and I'm not saying all the time, like shotgun's okay, but being under center, especially for play action, it is night and day compared to a shotgun play action, which takes time to develop. Defenses can see it. It's just so much better, when he's under center. But, hopefully Dorsey's understanding that now. And maybe Allen also is getting more comfortable, too, going under center because he's been a shotgun a lot of his career, man. I mean, I would love to see a percent to see what, how many more shotgun and under center, but I'm almost sure.
I'll look it up and I'll look it up to see if I can find that.
Okay.
My question is, I wonder if that had more to do with the guard play, the interior line play, than anything. With Josh,
back so fast.
With Josh and shotgun, he can see it and manipulate the pocket. To where under center dropping back, he may not see it as easy.
But the play action was such a waste.
I understand that, but
I get where you're coming from. But why then? Don't even bother. Than just being, you know what I mean? What's the point of the
I mean, they still do the play action with this because they still run out of gun. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It drives me crazy. But Spen comes in and says, I'm still worried about Dorsey not knowing how to use the tight ends in the pass game. Dable had that problem too. Dorsey still hasn't figured out how to get our slots involved. I don't disagree with that. I would like because we start off with the script of getting the tight ends involved, and then throughout the game, it goes away.
Yep.
Every game, the first 2 quarters, Kincaid will have a couple catches, Knox will have a couple catches, and then through the second half, there'll be nothing.
Yeah,
it's just weird. Odd. It's so odd. Sherfield with the TD on Sunday. Okay, I wouldn't.
Sherfield's actually starting to
be used
more.
Get
going. Yeah, and I think Allen's starting to trust him a little bit more as
Mhm.
well.
Hey, fans don't know nothing. We don't know what you're talking about. Dorsey finally realized that. Yeah, fans don't know anything.
I think, in my opinion, Mikey, I think Dorsey was just. I think he was clamping on to that Dable playbook too hard, man, too tight. And I think he was just not putting his own mix to it, man. I really do. I feel like it was just too much of Dable's play calling. And then I think this year, at least going into week 2, week 3, week 4, I feel like he's starting to sprinkle into some of his own stuff.
Mhm.
And understanding that you can't just replicate what Dable did here. You got to switch it up. You got to create your own uniqueness, different, style to it. Because not everything that Dable did here worked. Like some of it was so frustrating.
Yeah.
And he never got the run game going. Never, ever, ever.
This has been the best in Josh's era.
This 100%. So I kind of feel like at least going, and who knows what happened after week 1. Maybe McDermott, maybe staff got together with him and said, hey, listen, that we got to start running the ball more. We got to, who knows? You know what I mean? And I think you starting to see that the running backs get going. You're starting to see Allen under center more. Like this is all stuff that Dable never did. So very possible that Dorsey's starting to find his own as well. He's still young. He's still new at the position. So we'll see. But I like what I've seen so far from him this year. It hasn't been perfect, but I can see the growth as an OC, in year 2.
Yeah. Trix comes in and says, makes you think Allen may be suited for the West Coast. I don't know if Allen is suited for just one offense. I think Allen can run anything. I think he can run the spread. He can run the West Coast. I think Allen is just talented enough to run anything. Like it makes you wonder, what if you put him with Andy Reid? What would he look like with Andy Reid? And Andy Reid's on up
San Francisco.
Yeah, with Shanahan.
With all them, right?
Allen is a game changer. He's a superstar. At the end of the day, the Bills are lucky. Bills fans are lucky. We have a true superstar quarterback. It's awesome.
Exactly. Yep.
It really is. Because when he's at Wyoming, he wasn't a pro-style West Coast offense. He just didn't have the playmakers in Wyoming to really show what he could do.
Or the coaches. Let's be real. Or the coaching staff. He just didn't have that there.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big school.
Yeah. Allen makes the O-line look good. I think our O-line is somewhere in the middle. Mitch Morris came out and said it. Allen has helped them still by creating time when things break down. But overall, I think our offensive line is the best it's been in a long time. They still do it really because there's a lot of clean pockets for Allen.
Oh yeah, Allen's back there sometimes sitting for a good 3/4. Yes, easily. Now there's times also that I see the line just get wrecked, collapse. But I think this line is starting to gel finally, starting to come together.
Yeah.
They're young. Remember too, and we talked about this, guys, like this offensive line is the same unit from week 1. Like how rare is that, right? Let's go back in time from the beginning. Like there's always been injuries or a new guy or this guy getting pulled, right? Or
week 1 preseason. Right. This was our line.
Right. So how rare is that? And that's great to see, guys. Like when you got offensive line problems is when you start shuffling. When there is no injuries, you're just shuffling because they're playing terrible, right? So like I feel like this year they're young, they're going to make some mistakes, not going to be perfect, but I like the potential in them. And obviously Osiris Torrance is a beast. And
McGovern's playing fantastic.
Yeah, McGovern, even Edwards who comes in.
Edwards has been a fantastic lineman 6. Like he's done, and I'll tell you, he seems like he's having a ball out there as
love it. Yeah,
like he's a former starter on a Super Bowl team, and he's having fun as lineman 6.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Like I said, man, if this unit could just keep together, no injuries, knock on wood. I think they're going to only get better as the season goes on because there's a lot of young guys, especially Osiris Torrance. I think as each game goes on, he'll get better.
Imagine Josh Allen running the ring around a rosy play.
Yeah, I don't want that crap.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you, Triggs. I think his skill set, he could be deadly in the West Coast offense. He could be.
Mhm.
You know, especially if he is willing to buy in and throw those underneath routes that the West Coast and those timing routes, those quick, get it out of your hands quick, short routes, let your playmakers do things. Mikey, I missed your question. Okay, so let me see what Jason's question was. Let me find it.
Oh, you missed another question? Uh-oh.
I guess.
We're getting in trouble tonight, boy, with the questions. And imagine, guys, Mike is not going to be here Sunday, and I'm going to be in big trouble. And all I think is back tonight. Uh-oh.
What offensive weapons besides Kincaid doesn't have a TD? Before you answer that, you have to think about this as well. I'll pull up a question, and then Tommy will go on his diatribes, and I'll get behind him. That's why I'm missing questions.
Oh, yeah.
Because Tommy doesn't look at like what the next question is. He just wants to finish his thought.
Yeah, because I'll lose it. I'll definitely lose
it.
Yeah.
So what offensive weapons besides Kincaid doesn't have a TD? So who doesn't have a TD yet?
Sherfield.
Sherfield doesn't have a TD yet. Hardy doesn't have a TD yet. Is that it? Knox has one. Diggs has one. Morris doesn't have one yet.
Quentin Morris, right?
Yep. I think that's it, right?
Gilliam.
Yep. Gilliam doesn't have one yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because all three running backs have one.
Yeah,
Diggs,
all three.
Davis.
Cook finally got his last week.
Yep. Josh shoved him
in. Damn close.
Josh shoved him in. Shakir has one. So yeah, I think that's, you know, hopefully that answers the question. So we still have quite a few more that can still get in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Complete offensive line. I want to make sure I'm not missing any other questions. Play action also makes it easier for the line. It does. Also, what makes it easier for the line is actually running the freaking ball
all day. Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Oh yes, I'm waiting for the Edwards go out for the touchdown catch too. You know what's crazy about how good the Bills have been? Outside of this last week, we haven't hit on all cylinders yet.
What is going on here?
Someone keeps joining and changing the stuff on us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea.
Because someone's in the background, like queued up.
I know. I don't know. I'll have to change it again.
You know.
Yeah, I'll change it again. I have no idea what's going on with that, bro. That's super strange, man.
Got jokes, Ben. Got jokes. You know, Osiris has been looking like a great pick. Yeah. Sherfield, Gilliam, Hardy, Morris. Yeah. Washington game script. Yep. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. We really haven't looked all that super powerful. This last week we looked really, really good. But you know, ultimately we'll have to wait to see how we look this week. Did you all get hacked? No, I think we have
I just got it. It's Mafia. It's Mafia mom on accident. They forgot to close the melon and
okay.
So yeah.
It keeps messing with us.
It keeps popping up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry guys.
Doxson versus Allen is one to watch this week. I don't disagree. That is gonna be a good matchup. I would also like to see us bring that chipper, the running back.
That's me.
Okay.
For some reason, I won't let me go back to the other thing. That's all right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Dawkins versus Allen's one to watch. I want to see us bring the chipper, you know, all those things as the game plan behind it. Ultimately, that's what I want.
Mm-hmm.
So then let me finish this up. Okay. So the second defensive one is stop the run, secure tackle. We got to get better tackling. Etienne has the ability to take over a game if you let him. So far, the Bills have been really good at not letting, you know, a running game take over a game. You know, we've done a good job of checking it enough to get us leads to where they have to be one-dimensional. I'd like to see us do that again this week. And then special teams, Bass and Martin, stay hot.
Yeah, they've been on, man. I think, what is Bass, 7 of 7 this year?
Something like that. He has a couple 50-yarders.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Almost missed that extra point. I would have been mad at him.
It's Chase Claypool messing with up the background for us.
I know.
Does Allen go deep today because they won't run the 2 high safeties? I have a feeling they're going to run the 2 high safeties. If they don't, I have a feeling you'll see more deep shots.
Yeah.
I do. They have a above average secondary. I don't want to say they have an elite secondary. They have a couple young guys back there. So it'll be interesting to see what the game plan is going to be.
I think I listen, man. I think it's a short week of practice, Mikey. I think this is another game where it's smart, effective football again. I don't think it's anything crazy yet again. I don't think you need to. I think we're running the ball here, getting the ball out quick. I just don't see anything like long, like deep passes in this game. Like I just don't. I'm a little concerned about us not practicing. I got to be real with that.
Yeah.
The sleep thing. Like I know, I understand what they said about the players got in last night.
Mm-hmm.
Though
this morning, like 7 o'clock this morning,
right? And then they purposely kept them up so they get their cycle of sleeping back. So they're going to obviously go to bed tonight and then get back on a cycle. But think about it, tomorrow Saturday. I mean, they're right there.
Yeah.
There's just no, and today was just a walkthrough, guys. So, yeah, man, the Jaguars been there. Their sleep's good.
Yeah.
So they definitely have the advantage when it comes to that. So that's kind of why I don't want the Bills to get like, air happy, start fucking thinking they could just wing the ball. You know what I mean? I think just kind of play smart, effective football again. Get out of there injury free, get the dub, come back home, get your rest, play the Giants. That's where I see that game going, but we'll see.
Spen comes in and says the Jags didn't run. Yep, the Spen comes in and says the Jags didn't run 2 high safeties against KC. So that'd be interesting to see. I'll get to Sonny 1 second. Trey says no, you can't go deep with the secondary. This is a good secondary. Darius Williams is a very good corner, and they have good safeties. So, maybe we continue to play our normal one. Sonny with the super chat from Alaska. Hello, gentlemen. Need to wake up at 5:30 a.m. to watch this game in Alaska. My prediction: 35-10. Yep. Our defense will have another Bills type of defensive game. I love it. So that
Mikey has to wake up at 6. So
yep. So let's
on board
do it.
with you.
Jessica comes in and says, I agree. Tommy used that healthy O-line to bully the Jags. Yeah, run on them.
I'm serious. Like
bring Latavius, man. Let Latavius eat.
I want Murray used more, man. I want Murray used early on. Like Mikey, I really hope Dorsey understands he has it right there in front of him, man. Use Murray early with Cook. Have them two going and finish the show with Harris, because Harris coming in late has really done a good job just basically chewing the clock, beating up an already beaten up defensive line, and just killing them. That's what I want to see. And what Murray would do is open it up for James Cook more. Soften up the defensive line. Like, I love Murray coming in early, man. I do. I hated week 3 when they didn't use Murray early on. I was so upset with that. I thought it was a terrible decision, Mikey. You have 3 different style running backs. Like, I know Murray and Harris are bruisers, but Murray's more of a bruiser, more of a bigger back than Harris. But Harris, like I said, can get you going late, man. But yeah, man, if you want to get Cook going, in my opinion, in a game, you get Murray in there early on.
Okay.
That's when if you go back and look at his best game, Murray got going on early on. That's when Cook.
We last week we used all 3 of them on the first drive, which was awesome.
Exactly, but they also went away from Murray. At times when I felt like Murray
in the middle of the game,
Murray had the biggest run of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Cook kind of struggled a little bit, but I still don't mind. By the way, guys, I don't care about that. I'm good with that. Like, they still ran they ran it 12 times with Cook. It's still, defenses still have to play for the run. So I'm good with that. As long as you keep giving Cook 12 to 15 carries, I'm fine with that. Give Murray 5 to 6. I'm fine. Early on, though.
Trix is actually in England. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So it's a normal game for you. Nice. It's
I hope you didn't get offended with my "yeah, baby, yeah" in the beginning of the podcast.
All right, Tommy, score prediction time. I just got to think my headset's going to die soon. So let's score prediction.
Not good.
Yeah.
All right. You go first.
I actually have it 34-24. I think the Bills win by 10. I probably give them too much credit. I never give our defense enough
You
credit.
said what? What's the score?
34-24 Bills.
24.
Listen, they're coming off a weird no practice, weird travel game. I could see them putting up points on them.
What did you say?
God, sorry. I haven't hit you with a clip in a while.
I'll just have to go away. At least you didn't give me the stupid Josh Allen. Okay.
Oh,
I hate that one. I hate that one so much. So, Tommy, what is your score?
Oh my God, dude. Okay. I am going
38-21.
38-13.
Woo! Smashing them.
Yeah. And I'm being nice on the score for that.
I'm being nice. You have us smashing them, and I'm being nice. You have us winning by more than 4 touchdowns, and you're being
I'm
nice.
being a good guy, all right?
Yeah. 38-21, 37-17, 32-17, 27-10. Good guys, yes. How are the Jets the team that scored the most points against us?
Pitiful.
Because Josh Allen kept giving them the ball on their side of the field.
Yeah.
That's how.
Yeah, that might do it.
They scored 1 touchdown and kicked a bunch of field goals because Josh
Special
kept giving them the
teams
ball.
scored a touchdown on us too.
Yeah. So it wasn't that our defense gave up the points. Josh Allen just kept giving it to them on their side.
Mm-hmm.
Stop the run. Watch for the bubble screens. We'll be fine. I totally agree.
Damn, Jessica, you thought it might
33-16. Woo! 41-17. I love it, Jess.
All right.
I love it. 34-23. See, I'm not crazy. People think they could get up into the 20s. It's a weird. If we go back to what we predicted at the beginning of the year, I actually predicted a weird game this week. Remember,
Yeah.
I said the London one's always a little bit odd.
I think it is.
So here's the thing. I need us to get the W here to make up for my week 1 mess up, and then we're still on track for what I thought.
True. All right.
$1 million man laugh. I love it. All right, Tommy. So what's on deck? There will be no Fantasy Kingdom show tomorrow. With Howie still being sick, and then my daughter's birthday, I'll be out of town. We'll be back next week with Fantasy Kingdom. So Spin and some others who pop in. Sorry, guys, but we will be back next week.
Yep. So tomorrow at 6:00, AFC Shakedown. That's on Sports Jedi Network. His link is in my homepage, guys. So Sports Jedi Network. That's at 6:00. AFC Shakedown. You don't want to miss that. And then Sunday, we are going to be doing the post game, but Mikey is not because he's going to be with the daughter doing the birthday thing. I will have Jarek on from Jant Sports, so he'll be my co-host. So join us. That'll be about 12:30-ish, 12:45, that live post-game show. And then obviously Monday, me and Mikey will be back at 9:30, for Mafia Sports Report. So that's it, man. That's all I got for you.
Spencer's, if the Jag had better offensive games this year, I'd probably put them in the 20s, but their offense has been been stagnant so far. And just pressure Trevor Sunshine. He doesn't do well with pressure. There's pressure him, but stay in your lanes because he will run. That's my only thing. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Tommy will be back with the post game with Jan Sports, which I appreciate them stepping in for me. I'll be back Monday to discuss my thoughts of the game. So have a wonderful weekend. Go Bills.
Bills Mafia, love you. As always, go Bills. Peace.